In today's video, we are going to be talking about line and angle proofs. So on the board here, I have two parallel lines, which are going to be C and D, and then I have a transversal line, A, going through these two parallel lines. So let's start with corresponding angles. Corresponding angles. So corresponding angles are angles that are formed in different lines but are in the same position. So this would be your 1 and 5, right? This would be your 2 and 6. This would be your 3 and 7. And then your 4 and 8. So as you can see that even though they are in different locations, they are still the same angle. I'm gonna grab another color here. Let's do purple. Next we have same side interior angles. Right, and so for these same side interior angles, these are going to be the angles that are in between the parallel lines. So we would say that 4 and 5 are same side interior angles. And then we will also say that 3 and 6 are also same side interior angles. So unlike the corresponding angles, the same side interior angles do not equal each other. Now we have alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles are still on the interior side, so still in between the parallel lines. However, they are going to be alternate sides. So 3 and 5 would be a pair, and then 4 and 6 would be another pair. And so what you'll notice with these alternate interior angles is that they are going to equal the same angle. So we see that 3 and 5 have the same angle, and then we see 4 and 6 have the same angle. Now let's look at alternate exterior angles. Running out of colors here. Alternate exterior angles. With alternate exterior angles, these are going to be outside of the parenthesis, or outside of the parallel lines. So we are going to have our pairs going to be 1 and 7. So angles 1 and 7. And then another pair would be angles 2 and 8. All right. And then last but not least, we have same side exterior angles. Same side exterior angles. We'll make this one, we'll go with green. Same side exterior angles. So these are going to be your angles that are still outside of the parallel lines, but they are going to be on the same side. So this would be your 2 and your 7, and then this would also be your 8 and 1. Because you can see they're both on the outside and they're on the same side of this transversal line. Same thing for 2 and 7. Now, a couple of things I want to note here regarding these rules is that we have what we call vertical lines. And so these vertical lines are going to be the angles that are across from each other. So let me go ahead and erase this. We'll do light blue. So we'll talk about vertical angles. And with vertical angles, they are going to be congruent to each other, meaning they equal the same thing. So whatever angle 3 is, that's going to be 1. Whatever 2 is, it's going to be 4. Whatever 6 and 8 is going to be, they're going to be equal to each other. And then whatever 5 and 7 is, they're going to be equal to each other. Now, the reason why this is important, because if I were to go back to any one of these angle proofs, right, you would see, well, okay, well, if 1 and 3 are equal to each other, and they are, let's say they are the, what's a good example I want to use? Corresponding angle. Corresponding angle. So we said that 1 and 5 are corresponding angles. Well, if we know the angle of 3, we know the angle of 1. And because 1 and 5 are corresponding angles, that means whatever 1 is equal to, that is what 5 is going to be equal to. Whatever 5 is equal to, because 7 is that vertical angle for 5, we now know what 7 is going to equal to. Or honestly, we didn't even have to go through that way, because the same thing applies for 3 and 7. If we knew the angle of 3, we knew the angle of 7 because they are corresponding angles. So you kind of start to see how all these rules tie into each other. All right, last thing I want to bring up is complementary and supplementary angles. So you won't see complementary angles on this example exactly, however they go hand in hand, so it's good to know both. And what color would I want to do for this? We'll do, I don't know, have I done orange yet? No, I haven't. So we have complementary supplementary angles. We'll do yellow. Supplementary. Supplementary angles. So, complementary angles are going to be two angles that equal 90 degrees. So let me put that there. 90 degrees. So if I were to take let's say I have a random plane, right? Let's make this black. Do a quick little draw here on the side, right? Coordinate plane, I have a ray going through like this, right? Let's say that this is 30 degrees and this is 60 degrees. Well, these are complementary angles because they add up to 90 degrees. All right, now let's talk about supplementary angles. Supplementary angles are going to equal 180 degrees. 180 degrees. So a good example of this would be your same side exterior angles, right? So 2 and 7, which we said are same side exterior angles, these are also supplementary angles because this we'll say is like 120 and we'll say this is 60. This would equal to 180. Same thing for 1 and 8. 1 and 8, same side exterior angles, they are also supplementary. But this can also work multiple ways. So let's take it's another good one. We'll do same side interior angles. So same side interior angles, which we said were green, right? This would be your 5 and 4, and I will overlay that with the green to show that they're the same thing. So your same side, what did I say? Same side interior angles are also supplementary angles. So this will also be your 3 and 6.